All right, welcome in, boys. Take it to the bank. Michigan, fresh off the biggest cash that Coop and I, together at least, have had on our live betting show. Richmond went well, Coop. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, man. It's kind of interesting. Like you dream and your goal is to like hit an 80 or a 90 or a 70 or something like that,
Yeah.
just once. And then there were people last week that hit it twice, basically, minus 80 or plus 80, plus 50, plus 30. I mean,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
were just
I hit it
giving no
at
respect
80
to
and 30.
Busher, right?
None.
So
I sent a message out on social media. I think it was I was responded to a tweet that Chris Wormy had sent out, and I said that the books were off the mark. They didn't know what the pit cycle was. They didn't know who would cycle back through. And like we had the top 5 cars in that race between 40 and 80 to 1 down the stretch. It is not supposed to be like that. They missed the mark in a big way.
at the beginning of the year, if I had told you we had made a bet and 90% through the race, our plays were Chris Busher, Eric Amarola, Ryan Preece. Like you would have been like
Keselowski.
Keselowski.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we got on Bush and Truex and
But that's the,
but like
the
we
thing.
just did that to do it.
Even Marty, knowing that he was the first car on that alternate stop, you should not have been able to get him at 65 to 1. They were off the mark. So
it's almost like they kind of realized, hey, we really screwed ourselves, man, by leaving Chris Busher open.
Yeah.
So bad.
FanDuel shut it down for a little while during that race.
And then they went the opposite way. And like his biggest contenders, they like left wide open, big numbers.
Right.
Like it was like a perfect storm for the bettors.
Right.
The way it was set up.
Yeah, so it went well. We had a quarter unit on Chris Busher at 80 to 1. I hit him again for another quarter unit at 30 to 1. And then our top 10s, we made money on the 7 top 10s or 5 top 10s that I had put on the website. So all in all, I mean, it was a great race, and the last 3 weeks have been incredible, man. We made 19 units at Loudon, 15 units at Pocono, 24 units at Richmond. We're up 105 units on the year, all 1 unit plays. We went from down 23 units to start July and ended the month up 32 and a half units. And not just that, Coop, but when you consider the last 5 weeks, if that accident doesn't happen in the Chicago street race, we cash Haley at 300 to 1, right? The following week, we somehow lost that top Toyota parlay at 90 to 1, which we had no business losing on that fight. It's just been, and then we crushed Loudon, we crushed Pocono. Richmond was the biggest cash you and I have had on this show together in 3 years. I mean, we are in the zone, bro. We are fucking.
Yeah, I mean, and like I got screwed on Robbie McIntyre in there too. At 150
at 150 to 1. Yeah, I mean, we're locked in. We are locked in. We took the whole bank.
It's gonna be tough this week, though, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's so okay. So let's move on. We blew ourselves enough. Now, Michigan. There isn't a true comp for Michigan, right? People talk about Fontana all the time. I heard that a lot on socials, but the tire wear at Fontana is a world away than what we typically see at Michigan, right? Now, you and I spoke after the race last weekend before we got off, and the first thing I asked you about was Pocono has to translate to Michigan in some kind of way, right? Because of the speed that you need to compete at Pocono kind of feels similar to Michigan, right?
Right.
Now, obviously, we're in the package that they used at Vegas, Charlotte, Kansas, and the likes, right? But Pocono, but even still, the track is an extra half mile long, right? So speed probably means slightly more at a track like Michigan than the normal cookie cutter oval like a Vegas, right? And if we're being honest, there's almost no tire wear that happens on this track, right? So people will not be pitting because they need tires, right? They're going to be coming in for gas, you would think.
Yeah, I mean they'll change some tires along the way, but you know, 2 tire stops, 0 tire stops are going to be more norm than, let's say, 4 tires.
Right. So does this race feel more this week than it has, at least lately on the schedule, where the field can get flipped and drivers that we think were on the right side on end up being on the wrong side because of late pit strategy?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you could see somebody come down on the last pit stop and take 2 tires, and others take 4, and obviously the 2 tires is going to win out, for track position.
So for you, comp wise, because it's a weird track that's kind of its own animal, I guess you can make the case for, I don't know, like Texas has more tire wear than other tracks. But where are you at right now? When
Speed and power, just like Pocono.
That's it. That's it.
Speed and power.
So the next thing is the manufacturers. Ford has owned this track lately. Yeah. So Kevin Harvick's won 5, I think, of the last 7 Cup races here, dating back to before the next gen car. And I just don't see it this week, Coop. Like, I don't think he didn't have speed at Pocono. I don't think he's going to have speed here. And where are you at with Harvick? Let's start there because he's been dominating the track for a few years.
I mean, I'm not going to say Happy can't win this race, but I think a lot of things are going to have to happen properly for him to win the race. But I think him and Blaney are really the only 2 Fords that have shown speed in this package, the entire year. But, this year has played a lot like last year, minus the accidents and the tire issues that we saw last year. And he ended up showing up well here last year with, coming into the race, and people were like, Ford sucks. They don't have any speed. So I think it's really him and Blaney for the Ford camp this week.
So this is so to you, this feels like a normal race where there's only 1 or 2 Fords that can win, and then it just comes down to Toyota and Chevy. Because I kind of feel like it could be. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the recent domination by Ford at this track. It's throwing me off.
But I mean, if you go back and you look at last year, like pull up the results. It was Kevin Harvick for the Fords.
So I'll pull that up right now. I kind of disagree with you though on Ryan Blaney. Outside of Charlotte, if you look at his speed at Vegas, at Auto Club, at Kansas, it's garbage, Coop.
Right.
24, 13, 13. It was only Charlotte.
Right, but if you look at Gateway and Nashville, which was this package also, he was very good.
But do you think that translates to Michigan?
I don't know. Good. But, he's shown me a lot more than the other Fords in this package.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with that other than Kevin Harvick. I think he's probably been the most consistent, I think, in this package all year.
Yeah, from a Ford
And
perspective.
right, from a Ford perspective, right.
Well, I don't know about that. You might want to rephrase that. They've really been consistent because a lot of them have been fucking slow as shit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I know what you meant.
All right, so let's pull up. Let's pull up.
I mean, what do you think of them?
I don't think that Happy or Blaney are going to be in this race. I don't think that they are going to have a winning car. Because first of all, I think that Kevin Harvick's chances dramatically decrease when it's not a tire wear track because he doesn't have the power that he was rocking with 5 years ago.
He likes to take 4 tires too.
Yeah, right. Okay, so and I don't really. You make an interesting point about Gateway and Nashville with Blaney, but God, man, why isn't it translating over to the normal 1.5-mile tracks that aren't Charlotte? Because he's
right,
so.
But I mean, but again,
bad.
like if you really look at it, like Charlotte was the last 1.5-mile track. All them were pretty seeded, so maybe he found something at Charlotte and moved it on. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. You could be right. I don't know. To me, I think it's going to come down to Kyle Larson, Will Byron, and Toyota. I don't think anybody else I don't know what to make of Kyle Busch. I say it every fucking week on this show. Maybe him, maybe Chastain. I don't know. Maybe he finds something because he's been fast on these 1.5-mile tracks other than Charlotte. He's been pretty good, at least on the normal cookie cutters. But I think it's going to come down to the normal guys. I don't think Harvick and Blaney and Logano are going to contend.
Okay, if I had to rank them, they would be on the bottom tier of the Toyotas and Chevys that you mentioned.
So looking at the odds board, Denny, Larson, and Truex, they're your top 3, right? So let's start here. Who do you feel better about this week? Toyota or the fast Hendrick guys?
I mean, it's 6 versus 2 because I feel pretty good about all the Toyotas.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well,
we feel good that they're going to have speed.
Right. I don't know. I would take Toyota over Larson, but I mean, let me ask you this, rephrase this. So we went to Pocono, all right, and we felt pretty good about Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Martin Truex. We threw them into the parlay.
That played true if Marty didn't have an issue.
Right. We put them in the parlay. Those 3 drivers, those were only 3 drivers we parlayed, right?
Right.
So if you were to make that parlay again for this race and you could only use 3 drivers, would you use the same 3?
Yeah. I would probably. Would you?
No.
I think Denny was fast. Larson drove through the field fucking 1.5 times. He was fast. And Marty might have been the fastest car for the first few laps until he was off the track.
Marty's the one that, I would probably be out on.
Coop, how can you be out on that car? He's the fastest car on the track this year. How can you be out on him?
I just think he's a smidge slower in this one.
No, you can't do that anymore. Not in August after what we see.
And the race is on Sunday, not Monday.
I mean, he has now surpassed Kyle Larson. He is the fastest car on the track this year. He is, Coop.
I'm not going to doubt you and argue, and
but I'm
like
with
that,
you. Like I think Denny and Kyle. I think it's going to come down to the four. I think Willie B's going to be real fast. Going to probably be running in the top 5 all day. And if somebody makes a mistake, he'll be there to pick up the pieces like Willie B does, right? And I think Larson's going to be fast. And I think Denny and Marty are going to be fast. Now, the wild cards to me are the other Toyotas and maybe Kyle Busch and Chastain, depending on what you think about them. Because I don't know how to feel with KV. I don't know. He could be fast.
I think he'll have a good week. Could he win? Sure, he could win. But I think he's more of a top 5 contender.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go down the odds board. So Denny's the favorite. We love Denny. He's been phenomenal here. He hasn't won a race since 2011, but he hasn't run worse than 6th since 2019. He hasn't won
a race here since 2011.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah. He hasn't won a race here since 2011. And he hasn't run worse than 6th since 2019. 5 top 5s in that span, 4 top 3s in that span. We've said it all year that he might be the fastest Toyota. And I know that that's how you felt. But it looks like Marty is now comfortably has that title, Coop. You're going to have to accept it, okay? Especially after the last couple months. So I think everybody that watches the sport knows how Denny struggles with penalties on pit road, whether it's him speeding, whether it's his pit crew putting him in a tough spot from time to time. So the big question at this track for me, for you is, if that happens, do you think that he could still win the race here?
Denny?
Yeah.
If he has a mistake on pit road?
Yes.
At the beginning of the race, sure. At the end of the race, no.
So you think that if it happens at the beginning of the race, he'll still have time to get up there?
Oh, definitely.
All right, so we love Denny, obviously. The price is interesting. That's something that you and I haven't spoke about. The opening lines this week have got to be the highest opening lines this year that wasn't a super speedway or a quasi super speedway. And I don't know why. Why, Coop?
Yeah, I looked at that, and then I the first thing I looked at was winner of the race, winner stage 1, winner stage 2 wins the race. Those numbers are back to lower this week than what they were last week.
Like, do you remember what the odds-on favorite went off at last week at Pocono? What was?
You mean Richmond?
I'm sorry, Richmond. What was Marty? 4-1?
4.5, maybe we'll say.
And at Pocono, do you remember who closed the favorite?
I do not, but
it couldn't have been more than 5-1, the favorite.
Right.
So how different from Pocono is Michigan when you really think about it? Why are these odds 7-1? I always feel good about you and I knowing why things are happening on the board, especially after 20 years. I don't know why this week. I have no idea.
Hold on.
Sign said SRX is better than Xfinity. God fucking A right. Goddamn right, bro. Preach. We could hit SRX with our eyes closed. We don't even need the television on. Xfinity, we're on the wrong side of volatility every week. It's just nothing. You know what though? We deserve it for what we've done. Up and
at Pocono.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see what book this is. This is DraftKings, all right?
Marty closed 450, Adam said.
This is DraftKings, all right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to scroll down and look through all the pictures. Denny Hamlin opened 11-2, 5.5 to 1.
Right.
Closed 4 to 1.
So explain to me why the odds are doubled at a similar track.
William Byron opened 9 to 1. All right. Closed 5 to 1. This has Marty at 6 to 1, open 5.5. Larson opened 7.5, closed 6.5.
Okay, so he's 7 this week. That's about right. So it was basically the 2 Toyotas.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. Just the 2 Toyotas. So I just don't understand. This track isn't drastically different. I mean, I'll take it. I'm happy that these are the lines that we have this week. They're a little bit more palatable, but I still don't understand why they are where they are.
Right. But
all right. So Denny, what do you think about the price? 7 to 1's fair.
Where do you see 7 to 1?
Well, I mean, it was 7 to 1 all week. At this book I'm looking at right now, he's 6.5. He's 7 to 1 at Bet365. So 7 to 1's
He's the favorite.
Yeah. Well, no, Kyle Larson is 6 to 1 at Bet365. Marty's 8 to 1 at Bet365.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like these lines are fair, I think. Well, at least for these guys, these top guys, Larson, Denny, Marty.
Right.
I think the odds are fair.
Right.
Where are you at? Like, have you bet any outrights yet?
Just Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, I didn't bet him because I was going to throw him in a parlay. But
20 to 1.
Aside from that, that's it.
To win, yes, he's the only one I bet.
That's it. Man, that's a cheap number on Bubba Wallace. Well, 20 to 1's not bad. The number now is a cheap number. Last time I checked, it was like 14 to 1, 12 to 1 at Bet365. All right, so after Denny, Marty, 7 to 1. Marty, another guy that has been good here, right? I mean, week to week, we know he's been the best car. He was wicked fast at Pocono for a little while. He's been wicked fast all year. And when you look at his track history, he's been another Toyota like Denny that he's been on the cusp of a win, but he hasn't sealed the deal. But I mean, 3 top 3s for the last 6 races. I mean, top 3 for the last 6 races. So, I mean, I don't know. Different package this year in the new car. Last year, he finished 6th here. Marty, I think you have to take him seriously now. From now until November, he could win every race. I think the price is fair. Well, all right.
He can win every race. Come on.
I mean, maybe not road courses and not super speedways.
He just won Sonoma.
Well, that's true. That's true. So yeah, he can win every race, Coop. Why can't he? The guy's he's on the best equipment on the track every week, man. Come on.
Yeah. I just think he's a smidge behind in his package.
All right. So Larson, is he the last Chevy to win here? He might be the last Chevy to win here.
Probably. But he was really good with Chip Ganassi here.
Yeah. Yeah, back in he swept both races back in 2017, and he won in 2016, but that's 7 years ago. I think him and Byron are going to be fast. I'm not sure about Elliott and Bowman because they've been off the mark all year, but I think that the 2 big boys at Hendrick for now will be fast. I just don't know who's going to be the best out of those 4. I'm not sure.
Out of what four?
Out of Kyle Larson, Marty, and Denny and Byron, I guess I don't know. You don't know who's going to be the fastest. Could Willie B be the fourth fastest? Yeah, but I mean, he could have speed. I don't know out of those four guys. I'm not sure. I want to lean towards Toyota, but man, Larson was fast at Pocono, bro.
Yeah, I mean Willie B. He led a lot of laps at Pocono.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure. Do you feel confident one way or the other out of those four who's going to be the fastest? I kind of think they're in their own group this week.
No, I don't think they're in their own group.
See, here's the thing. Do the other Toyotas have speed? Yeah. Could they be as fast as the four guys we're talking about? Yeah. But you know what the difference is, Coop? They're not world-class drivers. And these guys are. And that puts them in a different group. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and Chris Bell are not.
How can you call William Byron a world-class driver?
Well, no, okay, take Willie B out of there. But he's had the second fastest car all year. He way faster than Reddick, way faster than Bubba. So put him in his own little group. But Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace and Chris Bell are not Larson, Marty, and Denny. And if they were an identical equipment,
right? But I think you've got to look. You can't look at this race from a year perspective. You got to look at this race from this race. And this race, Bubba, Chris Bell.
Yeah, last year they were fast. Last year
could be faster.
Yeah, they were. They were fast last year for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
We're just betting this race. We're not betting the year.
I know. I don't disagree with you.
That's why I don't think you can say there's four drivers that are in a group of their own. Like if you want to say they are for the year,
but like
I'm
Marty,
not going to disagree with you.
Was Marty and Denny? How much slower were Marty and Denny than the rest of the Toyotas last year?
No, maybe Marty was, but Denny probably wasn't.
Let me bring up last year's data just to see. So you think the other three Toyotas? We're not putting Gibbs in there, bro. Okay, you're just gonna have to settle down. But
I haven't mentioned Gibbs yet.
You think the other three guys, speed-wise, will be as fast as the four we're talking about?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you look, but they were all fast. Fast.
Right. They qualified 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Denny, Marty, and Kyle Larson were right there.
Right. But again, like that's why my only thing is like you can put those four in a group for the year, but not for one particular race.
But but what I'm saying is that if the speed is identical, they belong in their own group because they're better. That's all I'm saying.
Let's move on.
Coop wants to agree to disagree. Okay, Coop. All right. After that, KB, we kind of talked about KB, I guess. I don't know. I certainly couldn't back Kyle Busch at 8-1. I'm just going off the Bet365 numbers now that I have in front of me. I have all the books up, but I can't look at them all at one time. But 8-1 is crazy. It's crazy. When Martin Truex is,
what do you think it should be?
It should be higher than way high. I would say probably 50% higher than what Denny Hamlin, Marty, and Kyle Larson are, and not a dollar difference. He's 8-1, and Byron and Truex are 8-1, and Marty's 7-1. I mean, Denny is 7-1. He should be if they're 8-1 and 7-1, he should be 12-1. 8-1 is cheap. Chris Bell's 12-1. Why is Kyle Busch 8-1?
Hold on, I think I'm going to give you the answer here in a minute.
All right. Are you going to tell me because Reddick was fast?
No. All right. Shit, this ain't going to help much.
Give me a good nugget, Coop.
I really think it has to do with Truex's results in this package. They've been solid, but he hasn't won a race in this package. And you look at Kyle Busch, who has.
But he's been so hit or miss, Kyle Busch.
Right, but he's been miss with the short track package. He's been really good in this package, man.
So look, I have Kyle Busch, second fastest at Auto Club, 14th fastest at Vegas, 9th fastest at Kansas, 5th fastest at Charlotte. That's not close to
what's Marty in those races?
10, 4, 2, and 4.
How many wins does he have? That's what matters, right?
No, right. Yeah. But
Not
I mean,
fastest car. How many times do we say the fastest car never wins?
Yeah, but wins are circumstantial, Coop. You have to go based off the speed. And whatever happens, happens. That's what volatility is in NASCAR. Wins are always going to be circumstantial because you never know when a caution flag is going to drop. That's it. We're betting performance.
So let me ask you this: what's Kyle Busch's number?
8-1
and Marty's number is 8-1.
Correct.
Who do you think is getting more money?
Oh man, that's a tough one to answer because Marty's.
No, it isn't.
Well, I mean,
I would know Kyle Busch is bringing in more money than Martin Truex.
Yeah, but
more people are betting Kyle Busch.
But here's the thing. I think that your average bettor that bets on the weekends has seen Marty just dominate this fucking NASCAR for 2 months. He's been the best car on the track.
But think of it from the book's perspective. If they make Kyle Busch 10-1, how much more of a liability is he? Because he's going to get even more money.
Right. Yeah. I don't disagree with. But I think
that's what it's going to come down to. That's why they're the same price this week.
But what I'm saying is, I think you discount the amount of public money probably coming in on Marty. There's probably.
I bet you that Kyle Busch is twice the money of Martin Truex.
I'd love to know the answer to that. I don't know. You could be right.
But I think that's why, in my sense. He doesn't have the wins, and he's Kyle Busch. And he's more of a liability to the books than what Martin Truex is. Now, if they make Marty 10-1 or 12-1 and Kyle Busch 8-1, then maybe Marty does get more money. But if they're the same number, people are going to bet Kyle Busch. I'm not. You're not. The smart ones aren't. But
You think
the average
you think
weekend person does.
just based off popularity?
Yeah, dude. How many times do we see it? Like when they do show the handles and the, all that shit, man. Like you're like, wait, why is this guy? This makes no sense.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So then back to the original question. You can't bet Marty. I mean Kyle Busch at 8-1, right?
No.
Right. Okay. After him, we spoke about Willie B.
I mean,
Ryan.
I think I have to bet Denny at 6 or 6.5 or 7, or Larson at 7, and Truex at 8 before I bet Kyle Busch at 8.
One guy yeah, I'm with you there, 100%. One guy we left out that I didn't even see for a second. Kevin Harvick is 7-1 at Bet365.
10-1 on MGM.
10-1 on MGM. 10-1 on Superbook. 9-1 at DK. I mean, God, bro, 7-1 at FanDuel. That number is egregious. That number, Coop, is egregious. I don't give a fuck what he's done here. 5 out of the last 7 races.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. So happy's a pass, a hard pass at that number. After that, Ryan Blaney 10-1. Honestly, Coop, that number would have to be double for me to bet Ryan Blaney. That number would have to be probably 20-1 for me to bet Ryan Blaney this week. Where are you at?
I don't have any interest in betting him live. I mean, pre-race, just live.
Chris Bell 12-1 at Bet365. He was fast last year, for sure.
Yeah, he was fast, but I mean,
and you know what, Coop? We have to at least say, lately his car has looked probably the best it's looked all year. Would you say that?
Yeah, just they make stupid bad decisions.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I would bet Chris Bell at 12 before Blaney at 10.
100%. 100%. After that, Bubba down to 12-1 at Bet365. Coop snagged 20-1. It was like a rogue number. He was basically 16-1 earlier in the week. Started trickling down. 14 started trickling down. Yeah, I get it. I understand the bet at 20. I would not bet Bubba Wallace at 12. That number is short. After him, Chase Elliott, 14-1 at Bet365. Where are you at with Chase? What do you expect from him and Bowman this week? The other Hendrick cars.
I expect, I don't know, if you look at the speed rankings that you're high on, I think I would expect more out of Bowman than Elliott. Because, even last year on the mile and a half and these, Elliott really wasn't the greatest speed-wise. So, I don't know. I'll bet him live. Maybe if you can put him in a parlay for me at 60-1, I might dingle on him. But
what did you think about them at Pocono? The two of them.
If I recall correctly, Chase was a non-factor for the most part, wasn't he? I know Bowman was. I know Bowman was up there at the end.
I think Chase ran around in 9th, 10th, and 11th all day.
Right.
I could be wrong though.
Right. That's where I'm at with that. But yeah, I think so. I think I would go Bowman over Elliott.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I mean, Elliott might be putting all his bags in Indy and Watkins Glen the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. He finished 10th. at Pocono. All right, after.
But we're going to circle back to Chase Elliott later.
Logano at 14-1. I kind of put him in the same thing with the Ryan Blaney. I would need a 20-1 or higher, or maybe even higher than that. I don't think Joey's going to be a factor here.
How the hell did he finish fourth last week, man?
I don't know, dude. Crazy.
I know. Crazy. But yeah,
Tyler
I think
Reddick.
he's a little better than what he has been. But I still
think
can't bet Logano.
Right. I'm with you. All right, Tyler Reddick at 14-1, 23-11 speed, man. These cars have been fast. Yep. What's the best number that you can get on Tyler Reddick? I think that's probably
14's. I think 14's the best. Which is I don't know.
I think that's a fair number for Tyler Reddick this week. Do you? Do you think that number's short? If it is short, it's not short by much.
Yeah, I mean, you got me thinking because, like, you were like, I got to have 20 on Blaney. But, like, I just don't think I could bet him at 18, though, or 17.
Who?
Reddick. I think I still need 20.
I mean, I don't think I'm far off you. I would probably take him.
Right, but so you would put a dime on him right now at 14-1.
No,
all right.
But I might do it at like 16 or 17, just based off the performance of that car. I know it's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
And if he's in the right spot at the right time, it could be him.
Could be.
But I'm with you. I think the number's short right now, definitely. So yeah, no.
Chastain. Let me ask you this: you just said the car is going to be a monster. If you had to make a bet, would it be Martin Truex at 8-1 or Truex or Reddick at 14-1?
That's a tough question, Coop. I think that the price on Marty is fair. And I think that the price on Reddick is just below fair. Is what I would say to that.
You got to bet one.
I would probably take Marty.
See, I would take Reddick if I had to.
I would probably take Marty, but I understand why you would take Reddick, and I wouldn't be far off the market taking him if we can get a slightly better price, because I think that he's probably a better driver than Bubba, and they're going to be in good equipment, man. So I'm with you. What do you think about Trackhouse? Like, do you see any Chevys this week that are going to compete with Larson and Byron to be the best Chevys on the track?
I mean, if it is, it's it's Busch or Ross. And like, you come on the show every week and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do with Kyle Busch. Like, you should be saying the same thing about Ross Chastain, even more.
I know.
Because the guy's just, ever since, man, like Mr. Hendrick set him down after him and Larson had the little, to-do-who, like, he has not been the same. That car has not been the same.
He's not reckless anymore.
So, exactly. That's how he did the same shit last year. And then playoff time come around, he was faster. So, I'd have to wait till practice, man. I can't. Like, we'll come back and talk about Ross here in a little bit too.
All right, fair. The next price that I'm going to read to you is so far off the reservation. that I can't even believe what I'm looking at. Ty Gibbs is 18-1 right now at Bet365.
Yeah, you can get it for 30 or 35.
Even you, the biggest Ty Gibbs homer on earth, wouldn't touch that number. What would that number have to be?
Why is he at 18 at a couple books and then 30 and 35 at a couple others? Like, where's the disparity?
I don't see now at 30 and 35. At 35, maybe I'm listening. At 40, I probably would have been there. Maybe.
Hey, you say that again. Maybe 35. You're listening.
No, yeah, I said maybe 35. I would have been listening. Maybe 40, just because I know the car is going to be fast. Now, but the big problem is he is not Marty or Denny, which is why you need 40 instead of 8. But I mean, that number, Coop, is a joke. Is that the biggest joke line outright that you've seen this year? It might be.
No. I think like Ryan Newman a couple weeks ago at like 80-1, 60-1, or 30-1, whatever the hell that crazy number he was. But yeah, it would be one of the top ones. Definitely.
So RFK got it done for us in a big way last week, right? Now Kez is 25-1, Busher 50-1. Do you think that they have a shot to be the best Ford?
Hasn't been good in this package.
No, they haven't.
I know, you got the Ford thing, how good Ford is here, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. But like,
that's the only thing.
Show it to me.
That's the only thing that makes you think, right? Because of how good Ford's been. But
and then even at that point, I prefer Keselowski over Buescher this week.
Yeah. And then obviously past that, it's really not worth talking about anybody. Jones, Gregson, our boy Ricky at 80-1, Priest, Almirola, Dillon. Pass. It's all a pass. All right, let's hop into some betting markets. Top threes and top fives. Were there anything that you saw? I don't even know why we talk about top threes. Top fives. Anything that you saw?
Yeah, I bet Bubba.
Oh, right. The parlays with the golfers.
Yeah. I got which is live. Billy Horschel made the cut, so that's all good.
Nice.
So I just need Jake or Logan Paul to win tomorrow night, whichever one it is.
Fucking Jake Paul. Jesus Christ. All right, but like at these prices, I mean,
and I do want you to also know I got some very good CLV on that.
Oh, good.
So I bet Bubba at 250. He's down to 200 now on 365. Yeah, are you going to bet Bubba top 5?
Yeah, I'll probably be on Bubba top 5 and top 10. Not straight, but I'll probably be on them because 2-1's a little cheap, man. 2-1 top 5 for Bubba. That's about $1 cheap.
Yeah, I think mine was 5, like 60 something or somewhere in that ballpark. But that was the only top 5 that really interested me. I should have went on and taken Ty Gibbs in that parlay also for a top 5 because I could have got it at like 10, but I didn't.
So, I mean, looking at these numbers and none of them are appealing to me. I think they're all a little bit off the mark.
Yeah.
Looking at the top 10 market. Wow, Bubba's minus 150. Jesus Christ.
What?
Bubba's minus 150 to hit the top 10 at Bet365.
I got him at minus 120. More CLV.
That'll buy you a cup of coffee tomorrow.
What's Ty Gibbs?
Minus 110.
Wow.
Yeah.
That right there
Wow.
That right there is going to buy me lunch because I got him at 175.
That's a wow. Yeah. You and everybody fucking else out there is back in Toyota this week. That's fucking crazy.
I got CLV on all 4 of my bets.
Minus 110. The fuck.
I think you can still get him at a plus 150, 160 if you look around.
Yeah. Obviously, everybody shop around. You can't look at every book at once.
But like, I can't bet any other top 10s. I bet those 2 because I feel strongly, 1, that they can get there, and 2, the numbers were nice. Like I think Bubba should be more than he should be right around where he is now, 150, 160. But like if you look at, like you rattled off earlier, like Denny Hamlin, X amount of top 5s here, blah 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 blah. Like I can count on my left hand, and I don't even need my full left hand, the number of top 10s from drivers over the last 4 years at this track who are not in one of the big names cars or a big name themselves.
Right.
The cream rises to the top here because it's about speed and power.
Right.
Like it's very hard for like a Austin Dillon who was one of the drivers that did get a top 10. Chris Buescher, Eric Amarola type, mid-tier drivers to get a top 10 here. I mean, there's no other top 10s that, like you. Are you willing to take a chance on Kez? I'm not.
No, not at plus 125. No, we hit Kez last week at almost 2-1. I mean, plus 125 is crazy. Like Alex you can make a case for Bowman at 2-1 because that Hendrick car could show up.
Right. But I mean, even what you've seen, do you think 2-1's fair for him?
No. That's what I think. I think they're all like 50 cents to $1 off what we would want to get on them,
All
right.
So yeah, I mean, that's probably where I'm at right now. I got a couple other bets listed, and there's a couple I want to talk to you about, but you're gonna have to convince me pretty hard.
Any matchups that you like?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say I like them because I haven't bet them. They would be leans.
Okay.
All right. So I was looking. Ty Gibbs is minus 110 over Brent Keselowski at 365. And then I found him at minus 105 at Caesars. Same matchup. So, I don't really like the minus 110 or 105. But, like, I think Gibbs is going to be a lot better than Kez. The question is, can Gibbs finish?
I think, like, it really comes down to where do you think that Keselowski will finish this week? In what range?
10 to 17.
So you're gonna need him, Gibbs, to be like right there, cracking the top 10.
Right.
And at what price?
Is that minus 105? At
that point, I think like when you can get a plus 160 for him to crack the top 10.
Right. That's why I say I lean, but I don't know if I can make those bets. Right.
Yeah, I get you though. Like, I think his car should be way better than Keselowski's. So, yeah, I totally get why. But man, like if Kez finishes 12th, then you're like, man, you got to get this
Right.
kid in the top 11.
Right. There was another one that I liked or leaned. I can't find it right. I'll come back. Let's come back to it. It had William Byron at plus money.
I saw William Byron over Chris Bell early in the week was plus money. I didn't think that was a bad bet. I think Byron's been so much more consistent than Chris Bell. That wouldn't shock me if he won that. Bowman over Busher. I think Alex Bowman could definitely be better than Chris Busher here. Busher hasn't been any great shakes.
Right, but like, what do you have to pay out for?
I think it was minus 105.
So, like, this is the other thing. Like, I was just on DK, and they have William Byron at minus 115, Martin Truex at minus 115.
Yeah.
Then
Everywhere.
you go to Barstool, Byron's minus 125, Martin's minus 105.
If you look at the numbers this week, I saw very, very, very few plus numbers, period.
Right.
This week in matchups.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There were some matchups I saw on Superbook that, because they have so many of them, I thought that there were a couple, but not everybody could bet them.
Yeah, I found this Byron's minus 110 to Bell minus 120.
Yeah, like when you think about Byron's speed this year and how consistent he's been, the wrong guy's favorite, 100% in that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do respect what Chris Bell did on this track last year, and I do think that he is going to be fast on Sunday. And that's the only reason why I didn't pull the trigger. But I did think that the wrong guy was favored in the matchup. Let me see.
Yeah, I can't find it. Let's move on.
So no other matchups that you saw that you liked?
No, that was the only one.
What do you think about Byron minus 105 against KB? He's been so much more consistent than Kyle Busch this year.
Yeah. But I mean, did you expect William Byron to struggle last week?
No.
He was not very good.
No.
Fell back right away.
He did, yeah.
So, like, that's the hard part about, these matchups when you got two big names in it.
Yeah. I don't mind Bubba heads up against Logano.
You don't, eh?
No.
That's nice to know.
Why? Did you bet that matchup?
No, I didn't.
What do you think about that matchup?
We'll get to it in a little bit.
What do you mean we'll get to it in a little bit? We're talking about the matchup right now.
It might not just be one-on-one.
Oh, we're going to 2v2 group?
Yeah.
All right. I'll write that down. I don't mind that. I think that's a good edge. All right. Other than the matchups, let's look at the groups.
I have one group.
All right. Let me hear it.
Reddick plus 240, Bubba plus 280 over Logano and Elliott.
That's a good bet. I like that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how much do you like it?
Enough to bet it.
Well, it's on Fred, so you're not.
What a cunt. Come on, bro.
Oh.
I don't have that anywhere.
I did not see that anywhere else. You can look.
I was going to say, why didn't I see that?
Yeah, that's probably why it's not anywhere else.
Wow, what a kick in the dick. Thanks, Coop.
Hey, sorry, buddy. Right to your senator. Don't blame it on me.
Bet Fred. I can't wait to meet Fred.
So DK has that matchup, but you would have to replace Reddick with Chastain.
I don't like it then. I don't like it as
Right.
much.
Right. Don't blame you.
God,
not on.
That's a good matchup. That's gonna
It's
fucking.
the same. That's the same matchup on FanDuel. I don't think I have groups anymore on Barstool. Do you?
I'll tell you right now, that's one of the ones I don't have up. I just looked at 7 books, and none of them have that group.
Superbook doesn't have it.
No, they have Chastain. Everybody's got Chastain
Instead of Bubba or Reddick.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Instead of Reddick.
Sorry.
Race props.
That was cruel.
That was not nice, right?
No.
No top 10s either, Coop.
On Barstool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have them either.
But for the people that are watching that do have Bet Fred, welcome in our guys in the chat. Sorry. Adam, Smokestack. Oh, yay, my guy. Andrew, Corey, Philly, Ostradamus, Marty, my guy. Yeah, so if you have Bet Fred, that's worth betting. I agree with Coop. I like that group. I think you're in good shape to get one of those 2 guys home. So
Thank you.
Us peasants have to go bet Bubba Wallace over Joey Logano if we want to get a piece of that action. But it is what it is.
There was no other groups that I was intrigued by.
Let's see.
There was another one that it was like Suarez, Busher, Priest, and Amarola.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
But the number on Suarez was just too low for me.
Wow, they got Marty and Will Byron in a group with Ryan Blaney and Chris Bell this week. What in what world?
Yeah, but what are the numbers on Byron and
225 and 225?
I could see Chris Bell spoiling that.
He's 3-1. I mean, if he's as good as he was last year, then I guess you're right. I could see that happening. But man,
yeah, that's enticing.
Keg might have to bet that. See, on what they have at DK, they have that same thing against Blaney and Bell, but it's Reddick and Harvick, not Marty and Byron. Gotcha. That group's got to be wrong, man. I wonder if everywhere has what DK has. Happy and Reddick in that group with those 2.
Probably do.
It is Coop. They just fucked up. That's definitely an outlier. I checked 5 books so far.
It's an outlier, like the one I got on Fred, because all the other ones had Chastain instead of Reddick.
All right, moving on. I might bet that. But obviously everybody knows, go to the website. My plays will be there. Winning team. You can make an argument that you could just take Gibbs and Hendrick Motorsports and hope for the best this week. But
yeah, but I think
you leave out a couple Toyotas that you
right.
probably
You can get. I was looking at this earlier. All right, you can get 23XI at 7.
Yeah.
So I think you make it a parlay.
I don't fear
Penske.
3. And like, there's one guy at Haas and one guy at Childress that could beat you.
Haas. Oh, Stuart Haas.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I mean, I think 240 is the best number I saw out there for Gibbs. We could probably get that number to 6.
Yeah, I like a lot tomorrow.
Because then you would have 6-6, and then if you could probably get 23XI to 12.
What about just taking Chevy and Ford up?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Because if I think Signed asked about it the other night, and I said I would take Chevy and Toyota.
I mean Chevy and Toyota. I'm sorry, that's
right,
what
right. I know. And if I was going in, and then it would be Blaney and Harvick, and I would just bet them individually.
Right.
Because see, that's the kind of the same way I am with the teams. Like it would be like you said, those drivers: Busch, maybe Elliott, maybe Bowman, Chastain, who would beat us? Harvick, Blaney.
Yeah, that's something to consider that you and I.
But I don't think we do both. I think we pick one.
I agree. What is practice? When is that tomorrow? What time?
12:35.
NASCAR just doesn't care about the people that wake up at noon. They just don't care about us. Yeah. All right. Check the website, boys, in the morning.
Yeah, but I would lean towards the teams.
You would lean towards the teams.
Well, we get better numbers.
Better starting spot. You gotta bet an extra play though.
True. But the play that we're betting is going to be like 12-1.
Yeah. I buy that.
So.
All right. So top Toyota, we're not even going to go into it. Just go to the website. It's all there. I am invested in top Toyota. Everybody knows the website. It's in the description of this video. Top Chevy Coupe.
So I had mentioned earlier we were going to circle back to a couple drivers.
Yeah.
And this is where I want to circle back at.
Okay.
And I was looking at Caesar specifically. Okay.
All right. I got him up. Go ahead.
Not necessarily for Ty Gibbs. All right. He's 18-1 to win, but he's 7-1 to be the top Chevy. Like that just doesn't seem right number.
You mean top Toyota?
Top Toyota, excuse me.
Right. Okay.
Like it seems like it should be one. Those numbers are too close to each other.
Well. I mean, he's 10-1 at other places.
Right. I've said I'm looking at Caesar specifically.
Oh, okay.
But I think the other two that are kind of better comparisons is Elliott and Chastain. Chastain, I think, is 14-1 to win the race, 7-1 to be the top Chevy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just bet 7-1 to be the top Chevy?
Yeah, for sure.
And Elliott, I think, is
5.5. Yeah.
And 12 to win, or 14 to win, or something. Those numbers don't seem right. There's no way I would bet him to win. I would just take the Chevy numbers. Not that I'm going to.
Right. I understand. I know exactly what you're saying.
It just popped my eye. I'm like, wait a minute, it just doesn't seem right.
Right. Now, at the same time, looking at it from the opposite spectrum or the opposite side of the spectrum, I have a hard time seeing Kyle Larson or Will Byron not be in the top Chevy based off this year.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like I said, I'm not making that bet. I just said that.
So why
didn't seem right to me?
Why can't we find the best number on those two guys and try to catch a price? I think they're head and shoulders above the rest of these guys.
So then let me ask you this, all right? Do we do that and use that as a hedge and hope it hits and not play them as a team win?
Yeah, we could do that.
I
bet you, Coop, that we can get a better number than their closing number to win the race pretty easily. I think if we want to back Kyle Larson and Will Byron, in terms of winning the race, I think we just take them to catch a price better than what the closing number will be, and then we'll worry about betting Toyotas to win the race.
Because the only thing though is I probably what are they to be top Chevy? 280.
Well, Byron at Caesars is 340. What did you bet?
It's Friday night, buddy. You know what Friday night is.
What did you bet?
Friday night's CFL night.
For fuck's sake.
I took the Calgary St. Peters plus 8.5. They're up by 9. So I'm at 17.5. And then I took the under in that game too, which is going to be a nail biter. I got 49.5. It's at 24.
You might buy the motorhome just off of CFL. You're on a roll, bro.
So that's not. It's only halftime. So, but
I'll tell you right now, it's basically 260 on Larson and 340 on Byron.
But then, are we that confident if we were to do that Elliott and Bowman aren't going to win because we would be losing them on the Hendricks?
I think if we're going to bet Toyota and Chevy to win the race, I think that we kind of have a built-in hedge to Byron and to Bowman and Chase beating us. Because no, that's not necessarily true. I take that back. But I mean, you know what, Coop? I think that if Bowman and Elliott are ahead of Kyle Larson and Byron on Sunday, chances are we probably have a bet on them to win because they're really, really good.
Maybe not. Because, the reason I say maybe not is, they could get up there via a strategy move and, their number could be cut, let's say from a 15 to a 7.
Oh, you're saying if the race flips late?
Well, I mean, it could be, at the beginning of the second stage, or it could be at the end of the second stage. I don't know. You know what I mean? It could happen any
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah. You know
like
what?
that's how we would not get a good number on them.
I kind of think like I'm willing to roll the dice based off of what Elliott and Bowman have done this year. I feel comfortable enough to not worry about them and not have to find a way to hedge on that bet and just bet that.
Now, what about Ross and Kyle? Like, who do you fear more?
Probably
Ross
Bush.
and Kyle, or Chase and
I probably Bush above all of them, and then I think Chastain and Elliott would be close, but probably
at that point, don't you just got to say, hey, I got to have a little bit of Chase, and I got to have a little bit of Elliott, and a little bit of Kyle and Ross. I don't know, because their number, if you can get them probably 18 to 20 then. If you're talking about getting, the other two at around 8 or 9.
Well, they're 7-1 and 340 right now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes down to, do you want to just take those two guys, or do you want a little bit more safety, right?
Right.
But I do like that some way to get on Top Chevy. Top Ford, anything that you saw that you liked? That number on Harvick. I guess I understand it.
Right. Like I just can't bet against it.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I don't trust McDowell and Busher and Keselowski enough to put my hard-earned money on them.
Fair.
To beat Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney.
Fair.
So,
what do you think about qualifying this week? You think anybody worth taking?
If I'm betting qualifying this week,
I got J-Ski up. I'm looking at the qualifying order.
So let me ask, I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, I want to hear your comments on this. I put it out there and you didn't say anything.
Okay.
All 6 of the Toyotas are in Group B.
No way.
Yeah. Is that an advantage or disadvantage for them?
That's it. I have to look at the rest of Group B. All 5 get in. You're not getting beat by Chris Buescher, Keselowski, Ryan Preece, Austin Dillon, Briscoe, Eric Jones, Haley Swart. They're all all 5 should. I mean, I guess one of them's not going to make it because they're all 6 Toyotas are there. Short of a bad lap, I think all 5 are going to be in the first 5 rows. These cars ain't beating them. Why did they do that? That's rare. Dexter, I've got fucking $4,000 tied to Bubba Jenkins, bro. So let's hope it's not Pinedo.
So it's all done by the qualifying metric, thing that they use. So that's how it works. But
did you look at the people in that group?
Yeah,
with them?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, all 5 get through.
But listen, a lot of times, like you see in these qualifying sections, the teams talk to each other. And the ones in B can make adjustments based off of what they're seeing in A.
Right.
Well, Toyota doesn't have anybody in Group A. So they're going to unload with what they have.
But don't you think that Group B always seems to be faster don't they?
Yeah, Group B does always seem to be faster, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're faster, like overall. It all depends upon track conditions and shit like that. But
I think when
I
you
think they're at a disadvantage that like if they don't unload right.
Yeah, but Coop, do you know how far off the mark they'd have to be to get beat by fucking Eric Jones and
Oh
just
yeah. Like I think Ross and Suarez are really the only two that can compete.
and like of all the quote unquote top tier guys, which after last year you have to give Chastain his due going into this year, right? He's the worst qualifier out of them all because he never qualifies well.
Right. But I could also see a scenario where they say, all right, these two Gibbs cars, we're going to try this. The other two, we're going to try this. Same with 23XI. We're going to try this with one. We're going to try this with the other.
Okay, so maybe you get 4 through instead of 6.
Right. Well, 3 or 4. Look, I'm just so to you, it's irrelevant. You just think they're going to, mop the wall.
Yeah, I think that what we're going to see a lot of Toyota in that last stage of qualifying. Yeah.
Okay.
But now, like, I mean, let's say they get 4 of the 10 cars, right? That's no guarantee one of them's going to be on the pole.
So back to your original question, though. What do you think about qualifying? If I'm betting qualifying, I'm betting the number.
Okay.
All right. We'll go to 365. I haven't looked at it.
Denny 5.5, Marty 5.5, Reddick 6.
Well, I don't even have qualifying on here.
Yeah, driver to win pole position.
Oh, okay. Never mind. You're right. So the first number that sticks out to me is Bubba Wallace 9-1.
Is that your longest odd on a Toyota that's not Gibbs? Yeah.
Bell's 10-1.
Oh, Bell. That's not a bad number on him.
And then the other one that sticks out to me, I know we've bashed Toyota. Bashed Ford a lot.
Yeah. Ryan Blaney.
But we have seen Ford qualify well at these races. They just haven't run well.
Right.
Would be Austin Cindric 80-1.
Oh, coming from the rafters. I love it. Penske does qualify well. They just fall through the field.
Can do well. Yeah, it's one thing that Cindric can do well.
They do fall through the field like a stone though. But they do qualify well.
But if I was betting let's see Caesars.
I don't hate that. For like a taking a shot at a bomb.
850 for Bubba.
Yeah,
75 for Cindric. Like I just can't bet like Hamlin, Larson, Truex, and Reddick at 6 or less. Bubba could just be as fast.
Yeah. Qualifying's always hard to nail down the winner.
And to be honest with you, like I wouldn't mind throwing a shot at Gibbs because he could,
Oh yeah, 20-1. Yeah.
Right. So those would be my 3.
What do you think about stage 1? Do you think they're going to come in, or do you think they're going to stay out?
I don't know what the
Packrass, Adam. What are the stages?
Well, I know the first stage is 45 laps. I don't know what the pit window is.
45 laps. So what is that? 90 miles?
Yeah.
They go more than 90 miles on a tank, don't they?
Probably. I would say that they wouldn't have to. But I could be wrong. I don't know.
But let's say they can all make it. You think it's going to be a mixed bag, or do you think the guys out in front probably stay?
I'd have to go back and look at like prior to see how like how it broke down. Like last week, we were like, it's first and second, and then a random car usually. So I'd have to go back and see. Like if I remember correctly, like this race, like you could pass, but it was really hard to pass the leader.
Yeah, it's very hard to pass the leader.
But you could pass like other positions.
I watched most of the race today. It was really hard to pass last year.
In general?
Yeah. No, pass for the lead.
Okay. But then, like I wouldn't put much on qualifying because like we always say, these drivers should do well, and then boom, you get a couple surprises here and there.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, just look for our whatever our plays are. She'll be in the Discord. Mine will be on the website. Coop, before we go, what did you think about Xfinity
Jets last night?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Jets last night? No. Do you know that Aaron Rodgers bought a $9 million house 7 minutes from my house?
Wow.
Yeah, like I literally know the house he lives in. Yeah.
Adam said it looked to be around 50 laps last year.
So Ty Gibbs looked good in practice. Who did you think looked the best in practice?
I haven't looked at it, didn't watch it.
I just know the only thing I looked at was starting position because I knew if Ty Gibbs started first, you were going to be, all over my ass.
I was going to be all over you. Yeah, he didn't. Toyota starting 8, 9, 10, but he was the fastest.
And while we're at it, I meant to bring this up earlier, and like when you talked about this top Toyota parlay.
Yeah.
If I send you a message in Discord or I talk to you, on the show about a 4 or 5 or 6 legger, man, like I get beat to hell.
Yeah, you do.
And then what do I see you post?
I'll tell you what you saw. You saw 105 units in 7 months. We're doing good and we're rocking and rolling, Coop. I'm taking chances, baby. I'm taking chances. Small chances. They're small. They're not that big. Small. But yeah, it's been a good year. So that's why, sometimes you take an occasional shot,
But no, like, so what did you think of Xfinity?
I thought the cars that you and I thought were going to be good were good. Berry and Allgaier looked fast. Gibbs looked fast. Nemechek looked fast. Austin Hill looked fast. The same six guys that you fucking told me. These guys are also going to be good, and I was like,
so yeah. Let's back this up a little. Let's back this up a little bit. I get a message from Jay. I'm not betting Xfinity. I'm done with it. I will be up $20,000 more.
That's not what I said exactly. I said
3 days later.
No more.
I get a message.
I said no more outrights. Maybe matchups. I said.
3 days later, I get a freaking message from you. I think Ty Gibbs is going to wipe everybody's ass on Saturday.
I did say that. I did. I'm like, I'm thinking about putting him in.
And my response was like, you just can't quit it, can you?
I refuse to believe that one of these series could beat you and I. I refuse to believe it.
And then I put in there, and I don't mind Gibbs. We'll throw him in a little parlay. We'll get him at like 6 or 7 to 1 because he was at like 4 or 4.5. And then the next message from you is, I want to parlay him with top Toyotas.
Yeah, listen, I didn't do it. I did not do it. I ended up not doing it. But yeah, I think he's going to be good. But the same cars that are good every week are going to be good.
So, like, did they open the odds back up?
Yeah. Gibbs went from like 4-1 to 4.5. I think Berry was like 5. Berry came on, I think, at this point last year too.
Yeah, but Berry was really good at Pocono too a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And had
that's why he's the second choice, I think.
That's part of the reason why you don't want to bet Xfinity anymore.
Yeah.
Because of him.
They're all, oh God, fucking Josh Berry, man. That was brutal. But they're Austin Hill, Allgaier, Nemechek, Berry, and Gibbs are all under 8-1. And then Cole Custer is 8-1. After that,
I saw on X that Custer had a part confiscated in tech from his car.
What do you think? Remember when you and I were talking the other night, and we were like, Colleague looks faster here than they've been. Chastain's odds are. What are his odds right now?
Yeah, Corey, I don't disagree with what you said, and that's basically what I told Keg is that Gibbs looks good on paper, and then something happens.
Yeah. So Chastain's 14-1, and Chandler Smith is 12-1. You think Chandler
can be a player? Where they starting?
Yeah, they're starting well. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I know the Toyotas are starting 8, 9, 10. Sammy, Nemechek, and Gibbs, and then Chandler starting in row 3. And then you got Berry and Allgaier row 1, Hill and Sam Mayer row 2, Herbst and Chandler Smith row 3, Hocevar and Gibbs row 4, and Sammy and Nemechek row 5. Chastain starts 11th.
Yeah. Well, I think we can live bet it.
Yeah, it's too hard to tell who's going to be the winner pre, I guess. Although my gut says Gibbs is going to roll, but Berry and all.
When I was looking at it, he did start 9th last year and won.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right, boys, we're out of here.
So before we're out of here,
okay.
I just want to let everybody know that we will not have this show next Friday night. We're going to have to move it to another night because we have truck racing next week at 9 p.m. And we will not be doing the show while we're betting truck racing. We've already screwed up once.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know when we're going to do it then.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and then Saturday is early Xfinity.
Yeah, they're at Indy next week, so
maybe we'll do it before Thursday. Maybe one before Friday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll
see. Big Brother's usually on Thursday nights, so that could be a hit.
You must be in your glory. My daughter walks in the house because she's a huge Big Brother girl like you are. And she's like, Dad, the new season started. Did you watch the first episode? And I'm like, I didn't. I said, but you want to know who did? I said, you know that guy I do the show with every Friday night? She's like, yeah. I'm like, he watched it. I said, because it's his favorite show. She was like, mine too. I'm like, yeah, you guys should hang out one day.
Yeah, it was not good.
Oh, no? You were disappointed?
Yeah. I mean, typically the first show isn't very good, but it was way below what it usually is, in my opinion.
So do you watch the 24-hour feeds too?
No, but I think that's something that you could get into because you're awake at that time. I'm not.
Yeah, my daughter showed me it today. She's like, "Look, Dad,
Yeah.
you could watch them sleep." I'm like, "Who wants to do that? I don't want to watch people sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got better things to do with my life."
Milo says after trucks.
Uh,
Like that means we start at 11, we finish at 1, and then like we usually fucking talk for a while too.
I know, and then we're up at 10 o'clock the next morning talking about Xfinity. It never ends, Coop. It never ends, my guy. Science said Survivor is better than Big Brother. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem with that. I can't disagree.
Fair
All
take.
right. All right, we'll be live tomorrow at 3:30. We got the early race. We'll go right into UFC Fight Night, and then
Wait a
Sunday
minute. When's UFC start?
6.
So the guy says, "I'm done with Xfinity. I'm done with it." And
Yeah.
now he's doing the show
Yeah,
to
yeah,
really start it all.
yeah. Coop, don't listen. I told you. I
It's
made a
bad
mistake.
drug. You
I
can't get
made-
rid of it.
I made a mistake when I said that we weren't going to bet the series anymore because I refuse to think that we can't beat it. So I'm sticking with it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe not the outright market. Maybe just like matchups. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I gotta think. It's a long night. I won't be in bed till 5 o'clock in the morning. But we'll be live tomorrow, 3:30, boys, right here. Sunday at 2:30. Coop and I will be back for the Cup race, the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan. Are we gonna listen? Last weekend I said, well, we had a great week last week. We made 20 units. We're probably not going to do that again, but let's make some money. And then we hit an 80-1 shot. We're not going to hit an 80-1 shot this weekend, okay? But we're going to try to make money.
We might.
We might.
Yeah, we gotta have to talk about.
I got the top four parlay going. Oh, the Jenkins fight's about to start. Let's go.
Yeah, but like earlier, you said you would have to listen about Ty Gibbs at 35. We're gonna get him in a parlay at 80.
Coop, that's not good for my blood pressure at all. You don't care about me, do you? You don't care about me. Corey said, I hope Xfinity gets rained out. Corey, I know. I know we would be up more money than we are right now, but we're still killing it. So, all right.
Hold on. Let me give you an update
On
the weather.
Oh.
5% chance of rain tomorrow, 45% chance on Sunday, but it says AM showers, 50% chance in the evening. So they better hope they get it in on Sunday because Monday is an 85% chance of rain. So.
Okay. So basically the race that I want to happen, it could rain, and the race that I don't really want to happen, it's gonna be as sunny as could be tomorrow. That's basically what you're saying.
That's what the weather told me.
All right, boys, we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow at 3:30 for Coop. I'm Keg. We're out. Later.